Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and I'm here to bring you guys new Bleach Chapter 529 prediction. Now, here's the thing. The Bleach chapter this week had its ups and downs with me because the beginning part of the chapter, obviously, we found out where Ichigo's at. He's in Karakura Town. The somewhat of the middle portion of the chapter, I would say, which kind of felt like a little bit of the bulk of the chapter, surrounded around Ichigo, and I forget what her name is, but it's this woman that we saw her a few times through the Fullbringer arc. I think Ichigo works for, like she's his boss, and of course, there's a little dialogue between them, pretty much almost like the same dialogue we got during the Fullbringer arc about, like, where she was telling him, hey, you need to rely on adults more. You need to, like, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need help. I'm there for you, that sort of thing. Because Ichigo seems like he's all troubled right now, and he's a little bit frustrated with what's going on. Of course, Ichigo, what's really going on is he's trying to figure out, what he's gonna do because he's been sent back by Oetsu. His Bankai obviously is broken, and they're talking about, oh, he's not really a Shinigami, and he's trying to figure out how he even ended up back in his human form because he's not even in his Shinigami form. So yeah, Ichigo's mind is a little bit I'm not gonna say like shambles right now because it didn't seem like it was in shambles in the beginning of the chapter, but definitely he's a little puzzled at what to do then. Now, the important part of the chapter, obviously, is when Ishin enters the room. And, obviously in the beginning of the chapter, we saw Ishin, come on the stage, but he goes and looks for Ichigo because Ishin is pretty much, we all know, he's the one who retrieved Ichigo's human body and placed him in there after Ichigo was sent back to Karakura Town. So Ichigo and Ishin, obviously they start talking once Ishin walks in the room and he's in his Shinigami form. And Ichigo already knows something up. He's like, all right, look, I know that you know everything that went down, that you know about the whole deal with, of course, like ending up with Oetsu training with the Royal Guard and my Bankai being broken. And Ishin, he admits to it. He knows about it. And not only that, but then Ishin also is finally ready to tell Ichigo what actually went down, like what he wanted to tell him a while back that Ichigo said, I'll wait till you're ready to tell me. Ishin, actually is like, all right, I'm ready. It's time now that you learn the truth. And he said, Ichigo, you're really not a Shinigami, but you're not just a human either. He's like, and then we get to the flashback of seeing Ishin. Of course, he's covered. He's on the ground. There's blood all over him, and it's raining. And we see somebody running up to him, and they're asking him, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And he's just like, the Soul Society, or they'll never let me live this down. So you can see, of course, he has his captain's robe on. I was looking so hardcore to sit up there and actually see if he had like a certain number on there, because then we can find out what squad he's from. But obviously we can't see anywhere on there where a number is at, so there's no way we can even figure this out, or no kind of patch or anything, because we all know that they also have a symbol for each squad, and I don't see any symbol, so I don't know what squad he's a part of. I know some people probably still saying, Royal Guard, he's probably part of the Royal Guard. I don't think so, but we'll obviously find out in time. But yeah, anyway, the person is walking up to him, and he's asking them, are they all right? How could you defeat that hollow? And they straight up tell him, like, like, my name is Masaki Kurosaki, and I'm a Quincy. So the thing is, this chapter would have been way more like exciting if we didn't know that Masaki was a Quincy. And now, granted, this was more of confirmation for us to find out what actually Ichigo was mixed with, because a lot of us obviously were speculating, because with the whole Juha situation, when Juha actually said, you're, or not, well, that was Aizen that said you're a Quincy and, or a Shinigami and a Quincy, but the thing is with I would say, I don't know, I just felt like the ending just was something that we all expected because of what happened with Juha, and how Juha was talking about the blood vein and how he didn't really know the truth behind his mother. So that end of the chapter, it was good, but it wasn't any major surprise, because obviously we already knew it, just confirmed it for us. So for anybody who of course enjoyed that part of the chapter, which I did. I enjoyed the last half. Then I guess I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't really think it was just. I think Kubo could have made a better cliffhanger. A better cliffhanger, definitely. That's why I don't really feel like this chapter was just like the most amazing chapter. The beginning half, of course, I didn't really care for it at all. And the last half was good in its own way, just for confirmation purposes. Now, what else I'd like to see from this flashback? Obviously, oh, you know what? Before I even answer the flashback, I swore I thought in the chapter that Ichigo was going to start using full bring. Like, and the only reason why I said that is because he left his combat pass behind, and it also makes me wonder if he's going to enter his Shinigami form anytime sooner. Is he going to start actually training more as a Quincy from now on? Now that we finally have confirmation that he's a Quincy, is he going to take more up on the Quincy role right now? Go talk to Uryu, start training, learn how to use Quincy abilities. Obviously, Uryu definitely needs some training because Uryu definitely ain't making the cut right now as far as looking at these Stern Ritter members. And I'm pretty sure all y'all know all like that Uryu ain't making it right now. But I mean, if they get some training from Ryukin or whatever, which I can definitely see Ichigo and Uryu training together with Ryukin, like him showing them the way of the Quincy, getting them stronger, and maybe learning more about the Quincy's past. I definitely would enjoy that, and maybe him getting, of course, some kind of spirit weapon, being able to manipulate Reishi, and by that means being able to fix his Zanpakuto his own way, maybe being able to take the blade and, like, I don't know, put some Reishi in between it and like kind of like stick it together like glue. I don't know. That's just a little thought that maybe, since we all know the Quincy's can basically make their own makeshift weapons, so I could see Ichigo somehow fixing his Zanpakuto with his Quincy abilities. But I don't know. I just couldn't see Zangetsu going away forever. But anyway, I do think the chapter was okay, just overall, and I do expect to see a lot more from this flashback. Like I expect for this flashback to extend at least maybe like I'd say about four chapters or so, maybe like four, maybe 5 chapters, because there's a lot of information that does need to be told. Obviously, we need to see, we need to learn more about the Quincy's as a whole, and I do expect this will tell us a lot about the Quincy's as well. I mean, this flashback actually kind of reminds me, if anybody out there who's watching this watches Naruto, it kind of reminds me of the Kushina flashback in a way, and that was at least like, I think, like 4 or 5 chapters. So definitely a lot of different things Kubo has to cover on this point, developing the relationship between Ishin and Masaki, and they definitely. All I have to say is, I mean, granted, the hollow doesn't really matter, but that hollow better must have been beast as hell if it freaking like was smacking down a captain like Ishin, especially seeing as how strong we've seen Ishin was when he fought against freaking Aizen. So I don't know how he ended up getting injured from that freaking hollow, but it must have been on another level or something. Have been like a Vasto Lorde or whatever. He must have been, I don't know, got snuck up on or something along those lines. But anyway, this was a good chapter of Bleach, or okay chapter, somewhere along those lines, I would say. And just to let me know what you guys thought about this week's chapter. Did you think it was great? Did you want to see more? Did you think it could have ended on a better note? And what do you expect to see more from the upcoming chapters of Bleach? How do you think Ichigo will fix his Bankai? That's another big question. Do you think that he's just going to throw his Shinigami powers away forever, or do you think he's going to just take up the Quincy role? Or, of course, I'm pretty sure most of you think that he's going to blend his powers together, which I do at some point. But do you think that he's going to take more of a Quincy role, like, for the time being right now, is what I'm asking everyone. Maybe temporarily put down the Shinigami powers. But anyway, that's all my thoughts on this week's chapter. Just let me know what you think. And don't forget to rate this video. So if you did like it, please don't forget to put a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, you can put a thumbs down. If you want to, the choice is yours. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content and you would like to see more. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you